So I've been thinking lately about how I acquire knowledge and why I acquire knowledge. And I think I found a shift in my metaphor that's going to help me as I direct myself in what matters now that I'm in my 40s and starting to actually get into the work. Because I think for most of my life, I saw knowledge a little bit like the stats in a role playing game. And not to surprise you, but role playing games were my favorite kind of game when I was a kid because I was just all about maxing stats, find out just the right thing, maybe find one stat you can boost really high and kind of get a cheat to the other stats, stuff like that. But I could in some ways see knowledge that way. And I have something like cannabinoid science where I have a whole bunch of stat points all built up and I can, write books on it. And then I have other fields of knowledge like Rosicrucianism, where maybe I have 5 hit points. I could, with some preparation, I could do an hour lecture on Rosicrucianism. After that, not really worth listening to. And there's other things where I could do, more and present more. And that's when I really realized the way to shift the metaphor. Instead of thinking about it as my own stat points, I could think about these different fields of knowledge as gifts that I could give back to the world. Like, how well do I know this? There's a bunch of subjects where I could share it to a friend for 10 or 20 minutes and help them figure out more about this field of knowledge. There's a couple of fields of knowledge where I could do an hour lecture, and there's a couple, maybe 1 or 2 where I can write books about it. And to view where I'm investing my time as what's going to help me grow the most to be perhaps a better teacher someday, or at least a better papa and partner and person, but also what kind of knowledge I can use as gifts to give back to the world, because I'm going on this huge tear of reading through, I call it the Western canon, but I'm trying to get the canon of world literature and world wisdom books. And I don't want this to just be a masturbatory exercise where I just stuff my own head with stuff and then I die and it doesn't go anywhere. That's not the purpose of life. Of course, part of it's to make me better, but also part of it is to integrate it and to share this stuff forward. I'm very, very lucky I get to grow in a time, the Buddhists would say, when the Dharma is flourishing, when these books are being published and that I can access them and I can share them on to others. And so more and more I'm trying to think of these various fields as gifts I can offer back, and it helps to direct, what really makes sense as something to move forward with. So this is an early metaphor I'm still trying to figure out, but if this resonates with you and you have any thoughts on it, we're glad to hear what you're thinking in the comments. So knowledge as gifts instead of stat points.